Hi everyone, it's Hannah from Hanjan Crochet, and today we are making the Coco Market Crochet Bag together. It's a super simple construction. We work from the bottom up, making this lovely sturdy base and then using a really nice textured stitch for the main body. Then once it's as tall as you want it to be, we add on some lovely sturdy handles here at the top, and then you can embellish as much as you like with straps and clips and key rings, whatever you like, or you can just leave it plain. If you love crocheting bags as much as me, I also have in the Coco collection a clutch purse and a crossbody bag. So I'll put all the information below about where you can find all these patterns and about all the yarn and everything you'll need, but we'll also go through that now before we begin. So to make the bag, I decided to use Dishie, which is a worsted weight yarn. It's 100% cotton, it's nice and sturdy, perfect for this kind of project, and I'm actually going to use this yarn doubled throughout the pattern. Along with your yarn, you're going to need a 5.5mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors and a needle for your ends, and then also any embellishments that you would like to add as well. So to begin the base of our bag, I'm going to have my yarn doubled here, so you can either use one ball and use both ends to double it, or you can use two balls like I am, because I know I'm going to need at least that much to make the bag. And I'm going to start with a slip knot on the hook, and then I'm going to chain 27. And now we have that foundation chain. What I'm going to do is begin by working 5 double crochet stitches into the 4th chain from the hook. So I've got the 1, 2, 3, 4th chain from the hook, and into that I'm going to work 5 double crochet stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then once you've done those 5, we're going to work a double crochet in the next 22 chains. So here we are, that's our first of those 22. And that's 2 and 3, and just keep going, and 22 should take you up until you have 1 chain left here at the end. So there we are, I've done those 22 stitches, and now into that last chain there at the end that I have, I'm going to work 6 double crochet into it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 6. And now what we need to do is rotate, so that we're then going to work back along this foundation chain in those other sides of the chains, so that then we can come back and meet and it will end up being a round. So we did our 22 stitches along here, and now we're just going to match that. We're going to work a double crochet in the next 22. So that's 1, 2, 3, and so on. So work away and then meet me back here and I'll show you what we do next. So then when we get back to the beginning, what we're going to do is slip stitch in that first stitch to join. So that is the chain that we had there that we didn't work into. So we slip stitch into there, and that's our round 1 complete. To begin round 2 then, we are going to work either a stacked double crochet, which is my preference, or a chain 3. It's completely up to you how you want to start your round, but my stacked double crochet looks like this. I'm going to go straight into that stitch there and work a single crochet. and then into the side of that single crochet I'm going to work another single crochet, and that basically just stacks them up on top of each other and creates the height of a double crochet stitch without the look of the chains. But it's up to you, whatever you prefer there. And then we're also going to work another double crochet into that stitch, so we're going to make the base of this bag a bit bigger by working some increases at either end here. So there's 2 crochet into that one, and then we're going to work 2 double crochet into the next 5 stitches. So here's our next stitch, and don't worry if you feel like you're fighting here a little bit, it's perfectly fine. We want this to be nice and sturdy, so it should be nice and tight, but that does make it a bit difficult to start with this base. So I did that first stitch there, I put 2 into, and that's the second time that I've done 2 double crochet. This is my third time. This is 4. And then, oops, nearly, not quite. This one is 5. Then when you've done all of those increases, what we're going to do is just work a double crochet into the next 22 stitches. So there's 1, 2, and so on. Work away for 22. So then when we've done those 22, we're now going to work 2 double crochet into the next 6 stitches. So that will take us all the way around this corner here. So 2 stitches in the first one there, then 2 in the second, and so on until you've done that 6 times. Then when you've done those 6, we now just need to double crochet in the next 22, and that will take us to the end of that round. Then at the end of that round, we're going to slip stitch in that first stitch to join, and then we'll be ready to work round 3. Now round 3 is very similar to round 2. We're just going to increase in a different number of stitches that we have all the way around this side here. So we're going to begin again with a stacked double crochet stitch. And then we're going to double crochet in that same stitch that we have there. And then we're going to work 2 double crochet in the next 11 stitches. So there's 2 double crochet, and that's our first time of doing that. And then 2 double crochet in the next is our second, and then keep going until you've done that 11 times. Then when we've completed those, we now need to double crochet in the next 22. Once we've completed those 22, we now need to work 2 double crochet in each of the next 12 stitches. So that will take us around this end here. And then after that, you'll need to work a double crochet in the next 22 stitches. So we've got 2 double crochet in the next 12, and then a double crochet in the next 22, and that will complete round 3 for us. Right, so that's round 3 complete, and indeed that's the base of the bag complete. We're going to slip stitch in that first stitch to join, and then the next round and all of the other rounds stay the same stitch count. We're not going to increase or change the stitch count anymore. And what we're going to do is we're going to work a stacked double crochet, but in the back loop only of this first stitch here. So we work our single crochet and then another one into the side of it there. And then the rest of this round is nice and straightforward. We're going to just work into the back loop only of each of the stitches, and we're going to work a double crochet in each of them. So your stitch count should be 92 now, and it will stay the same throughout the bag now. So just work into that back loop only all the way around with a double crochet stitch. Now we are ready to slip stitch in that first stitch and join that round. And for round 5, we're going to do really similarly. We're going to work a stacked double crochet in this first stitch, and then we're going to work a double crochet in all of the stitches around, but rather than working the back loop only now, we're going to work into the full part of the stitch. So that previous round was the only one in the whole thing that works into the back loop only. So work a double crochet into all of the stitches around, and then slip stitch when you get back to that first stitch, and we'll be ready to start the textured pattern for round 6. Here we are then at the end of round 5, and I'm going to slip stitch in that first stitch to join, and then round 6 is where we start our textured part of the pattern. And for this we're going to think in terms of sets of 4 stitches. So to begin with, we're going to work a stack stitch in that first stitch that we have there. Then we're going to work a double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And then for this first time, we're going to work back across these 3 stitches, and into the last stitch of the previous round, because we want our stitch to go across these 3 stitches that we've just made. So you're going to yarn over, and we're going to work a double crochet into this last stitch of the previous round. So we go all the way over here. We're going to yarn over and pull through, and then you're going to pull up enough to give yourself space to create your double crochet, which goes across all 3 of those stitches. Then we're going to do a repeat of that. We're going to skip the next stitch because we'll need one to come back to. Then we're going to double crochet in the next 3 stitches. That's 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to work a double crochet across these 3 stitches and into that skip stitch that we have there. So over we go, making sure the yarn there is at the back, and it's going to encase all of those 3 stitches that we have. Yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2. And that is now our stitch repeat for all of this round. So you're now going to skip the next stitch, then you'll double crochet in the next 3, and then work back across into that skip stitch, and you work all the way around until you get back to the beginning here, and then we're going to slip stitch to join. So here we are at the end of that round then, and I'm going to slip stitch in the first to join. And then our next round is going to be a nice and simple repeat of round 5. So we're just going to work that stacked double crochet in the first stitch. And then indeed we're going to work a double crochet in every stitch all the way around. So again, our stitch count remains the same. And so just work a double crochet in each of your stitches around. And then when you get back to the beginning, you're going to slip stitch into that first stitch to join. And indeed that then is everything that we need to know. We're then going to repeat rounds 6 and 7 for either as many times as you like, or as many times as I've suggested in the written pattern. So that's up to round 21. I would suggest working these 2 rows repeated after each other. And then when you've got to the end of round 21, you're going to slip stitch in your first stitch to join, and then there's one last round that we need to work together. But just so I can show you, I'm just going to work the rest of this round, and then we'll pretend that that's my round 21, and then I'll show you what to do for that last round together there. So now we're pretending that I have completed up to round 21 here, and I've slip stitched in my first stitch to join. And now for round 22, our final round, I'm just going to work a single crochet in each of these stitches around. So just to finish us off. But if you decide that you're going to add more rounds to it, don't worry, just keep going until you're happy with the size of or the height of your bag, and then work this final round of a single crochet in each stitch around. And then when you get back to the beginning, you're going to slip stitch into this first stitch to join, and then we're going to break our yarn, and it'll be time to add some handles. Okay, so if you are choosing to make the large version and you would like to add 2 straps to it, then the way that we do that, you can see I've already added one here to show you. We're going to add 2 straps on either side, and then we will join them at the top here. And then obviously we'll weave in and sort our ends there in a minute. But I just wanted to show you the placement of them, and that's what we're going to match on this side now. So if you grab your yarn, you can start these really wherever you would like them to be, but I have suggested that we join from the 5th stitch from the corner here. So as the right side of our work faces us, we're going to look at this fold here, and we're going to start counting from here, and we're going to join our yarn to the 5th stitch along. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is our 5th stitch here. So I'm joining to that stitch, and I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to single crochet in 9. I've still got my yarn doubled here. And then when I've done that, I'm going to turn. And then just as we did the handle for the short or the smaller version, we're not going to chain 1 now after we've turned these rows. And we're just going to work a single crochet in each of them. So we've still got 9 stitches here at the moment. And then we're going to turn, and rows 3 to row 6 are exactly the same. We're going to repeat that row we've just done there, which is a single crochet in each of the stitches. So then when we've completed those 6 rows, we're going to do a decrease row now, just to give our handle a bit of shape. And the way that we do that is we're going to single crochet 2 together. So we're going to begin a single crochet there in that first stitch, and then we'll begin a single crochet in the next, yarn over and pull through everything. So that's taken our 2 stitches at the beginning down to 1, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 5, and then in the last 2 stitches we're going to single crochet 2 together again. Making sure it goes, both of them go over, Hannah, there we go. And so that's taken our stitch count down to 7 now. And so we're just going to turn, and we're going to carry on working just single crochet rows for the remainder of the handle, or to the halfway point of the handle. So work away. My recommended length here was 45 rows, but you can do as many rows as you like. You just need to make sure that then however many you do, you repeat on the other half of it. So work away until you've got to your halfway point there. And then when you have, what we then need to do on this other side that I'll show you in a second, we then need to skip these stitches. So 20 stitches we need to skip, and then you start in the next stitch along and you work the instructions exactly the same for the other handle. So if I just turn over here, move this yarn, and show you once we've completed this side here, we will then skip 20 stitches along here, and then we will work the same on this side as we have done on this side. So both of the straps on the sides are exactly the same, and then when we've done them, we then can join them together here at the top. Once you have both of the sides of your bag handle to the length that you'd like them to be, we're ready to just seam them together at the top. And this is exactly the same whether you're working the large market bag or whether you're working the over the shoulder or crossbody bag. So what we're going to do is, as long as you're happy to crochet them together, but you can of course sew them if you would like to. So you need to make sure that they're not twisted and that they're lined up as so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all slip stitch from this stitch here over into the stitch that I'm already attached to. So I'm going to pull that yarn tight, and then I'm going to yarn over here at the back, and I'm going to pull through. Now I'm deliberately making this into a ridge here so that it's a nice tight and neat join, and it gives you just a bit more stability to this handle that we have here, because there's nothing worse than making a crochet bag and the handle stretching out. So just slip stitch away, joining these two panels here, and then when you've finished you can break your yarn, but my scissors are nowhere to be seen. Where have I put them? Here they are. You can break your yarn and then you are ready to weave in those ends. So once your straps are all complete, you can then just finish off if you would like to by adding, I just bought these online, these leather clasps here, and you can sew those in place. You don't have to add one at all if you don't want to, or you could add a button fastening, a toggle, anything that you like here. And then I just also popped on a little key ring here as well, but you could also do like a tassel or a chain or anything you like to finish off your bag for you. I really hope you've enjoyed making this crochet market bag with me. I'd really love to see your finished version, so do come and find me. I'm Hand Jan Crochet everywhere you'd expect me to be, and I will see you again soon.